She requested this. I said no, and I went towards divorce. Now, apparently, I went against my vows in my marriage. My entire relationship, including during the marriage that was shortly lived, my ex-wife was jealous of one of my exes. Me and this ex did remain friends, but I ended the friendship for my ex-wife out of respect. It felt so wrong after I did, but I thought I was doing the right thing. True story. The story I've heard from you about an open marriage, the husband went savage mode and slept with so many women, which ticked off his ex-wife. What I did was simply file for divorce. I even told her I was going to. She called my bluff. I did hire a PI also because I wanted to know who she was cheating with. I went through her phone, emails, everything, and I couldn't find anything, but the PI I hired, the same PI that helped my little brother with his divorce, found everything on my wife. She had been cheating on me for years and had a secret credit card I knew nothing about. So I met my ex-wife again in fall 2014. I knew her years before, but we lost contact. I was at work and just about to go on break when I noticed on Facebook she signed on and was available for chat. It had been maybe 7 years since we last spoke, and it wasn't on bad terms. Our schedules just weren't agreeing, and we both were in college, so we were pretty busy. Our initial meeting was at a mall. That's how we first met, and when Facebook became popular enough for me to want to join, I friended her on there, but she'd never reply to me. I eventually found out she had a relationship during that time. So anyway, fall of 2014, I messaged her, and she responded this time. I ended up talking with her through my entire lunch hour. We both were single and decided to exchange numbers. We talked for days, just catching up before we went on a date on a weekend. During our date, we ended up talking about exes. She told me about how hers was a piece of crap and actually did some jail time for hitting her. He wanted to take their relationship public on Facebook, but she didn't want to, so he put his hands on her and went to jail that night. Wow. She said it was around the time I friended her and messaged her. She was afraid to reply because that night he was threatening to hurt her, and he actually did. And then he put his hands on her, but she called the police on him, and he definitely got a record and jail time for it. She told me, in a joking way, that it was my fault for her getting hurt. That really threw me off a little bit because I didn't find that funny at all. I told her that's not my fault. That's not on me. She apologized and said she was only joking, but acknowledged it was a horrible joke. She then was asking about my recent ex. I told her that she wanted to focus on her career. Now she's doing big things as a lawyer in Boston now. I told her it didn't end bad. We just both needed to focus on our careers as we both are licensed professionals, so getting to that point takes a lot of focus. She immediately looked upset. So my ex-wife studied pre-law in undergrad, but she couldn't get into any law school in the country. Her grades were good, but she just couldn't do well enough on the LSAT. She worked as a paralegal for a while, she said, but now she was just a receptionist at an insurance firm. Her words, just a receptionist. I told her that's great, and she looked at me and said, "You don't have to lie to me." I feel as if I failed in life and wasted loans on a dumb degree that got me nowhere. I assured her it wasn't a big deal. She then proceeded to tell me that I should go for women that are more prestigious, and I'm too good for her. This clearly was a red flag. The insecurity was showing here. I assured her she's fine, and it's silly to think like that. I changed the conversation, and she went right back to my ex asking what she looked like. She even jumped on Facebook and was asking me to tell her my ex's name. I did, and my ex-wife said, "Oh, come on. You aren't still sleeping with her, huh? Are you two still friends?" I said, "We talk every once in a while. I hadn't seen her in years, and she's across the country." She said, "She's gorgeous." You're telling me you don't want her? I said, no. My ex-wife excused herself from the table, pulled out $100 for the food, and left. I couldn't believe this crap. Now, guys, I told that part of the story because it clearly was a red flag that I decided to ignore like an idiot. Now, I didn't reach out and go chasing her, but 2 weeks later, she contacted me apologizing. So I was a little bummed out about it because I just thought that was unfair. Silly to think that because my ex was a very pretty woman, and I'm not going to lie, she's very gorgeous, and she's a licensed professional doing really, really well, that I want her more than I want the woman that I just took to dinner. If I wanted my ex, I could have had her. But we strictly were just friends, that's it. We would speak every once in a while, but that connection that we used to have was long gone. So I was a little bummed about that because I was being accused of something that I wasn't doing, especially being accused by someone that I wasn't even in a relationship with. I should have just looked at it as she's not the one for me. She's got some insecurity issues. But 2 weeks later, she texted me. It was just sorry. That's all she sent. Didn't know what to say or how to respond. Then she followed up with, I was silly for acting that way. I think I was just an emotional wreck. I can't believe I ruined an opportunity with a great guy over my own insecurities. It was really dumb for me to do that, and I apologize. If you say she's just a friend, and I believe you, until you prove me otherwise, LOL. I texted her back and said, it's okay, don't worry about it. I mean, it was a little silly that you think that I want my ex, but if it bothers you that we're friends on Facebook and speak every once in a while, then maybe it's the right decision that we don't try to pursue anything. But it truly does suck because I really liked you. And I'm not that type of guy, by the way. I'm not a two-timing person. I don't cheat. I never have, and I never will. But I understand if you feel that way. We aren't compatible. So I don't look at your job as less than mine or anyone else's. You provide a service, and it's honest. Now, I was expecting her to respond and say, thank you for forgiving me. Take care. No, she says, I would love to make things up. Please allow me to buy you coffee. Just have coffee on Saturday? Let's try this again, please. I didn't text back for a while, like 3 hours. Because like I said, I expected her to just respond and say, thank you, take care. So after I said the reply that I sent her, I threw my phone down and I went and did something else. I wasn't paying attention to it. And then I saw it later. Now, when I saw her reply, I thought about it. And I said, well, why not? It won't hurt. And she's buying. So I agreed. We ended up doing that on a Saturday. We met up and had coffee. That Saturday, things were great. It was a great date. No talking about exes at all. We established that in the beginning of it. We didn't mention any of it at all. Let's just talk about us and what we want in the future and things that we're looking for in our person. We had great fun. We laughed afterwards. We went to the mall. We each bought ourselves something from 2 different stores. We just walked around, had a good time, ate donuts, and it was a great day. Well, that date turned into many other dates and eventually a relationship with my ex-wife. A year later, my ex-wife and I were in a relationship and my birthday came up. So you guys know how on Facebook most people will wish you a happy birthday. People will text you as well if you're close to them, right? So of course I got my birthday wishes on Facebook. It was cool, family, friends, yada yada. The family and friends that I'm really close to, they texted me. By the way, I hadn't talked to my ex, the lawyer, since I've been in a relationship with my now ex-wife. The lawyer friend decides to text me, happy birthday, and was asking how I was doing and she hoped I was well, something along those lines. Of course, my ex-wife, who I was dating at the time, flips out. She sees the name. She knows exactly who it is. Clearly, she could see I hadn't been talking to her for almost a year. Nothing, no bullcrap. She loses it, guys. This is my birthday. We're in Florida, enjoying the weather, on the beach. She sees that and flips out and says immediately, I need to post a picture of us together and put it on Facebook. Now, we were serious. Our family, as far as mom and dad and brothers and sisters, knew we were together. But we hadn't gone public on Facebook or anything. I wasn't really even thinking about that. She insisted we go on Facebook and we share pictures of the birthday right now. I told her, well, it's always been my thing to share pictures of my vacations after I left. Not that I'm some huge celebrity or anything and I'm trying to avoid anyone, but that's just what I do. I get back home after a trip and then I post pictures. But she insisted we take pictures together, holding each other in front of the ocean. That's what happened. She picked the picture. She said, okay, post it. And we're going public on Facebook, stating that we're in a relationship. And I asked her, why are we doing this and being forced? She starts accusing me. So you must be dealing with her. You don't want her to know that you're in a relationship, huh? I knew it. I should have always known it. Another red flag, guys. Being silly. I wanted to appease her. I wanted to make her happy. And I wanted to prove that I wasn't doing anything wrong. So, the same woman who got attacked by her boyfriend, ex-boyfriend, because she didn't want to go public on Facebook is now demanding me to go on Facebook with our relationship. And like I said, I was a simp because I did it. I shouldn't have. The rest of our time in Florida on my birthday was horrible. It was just the fact that she did not trust me. I felt like our whole relationship was a waste, and I would have to prove that I wasn't anyone else. She just couldn't understand that I chose her and I was with her, but she just couldn't see it. And her being this way just made me want to do more and more for her. But looking back now, I should have done the complete opposite and ran away. Another year goes by and I propose right before my birthday. A month before, she's crying and telling me that she loves me, and a lot of the jealous stuff just went away. It never was any other woman. It was just my ex. I could work with another woman. I could go on a work trip with another woman. She wouldn't say a word. She wouldn't even be bothered. It was just my ex at the time. That was the lawyer that really bothered her. One time I had to go to Boston for work. You think she allowed me to go by myself? No, she went with me. She even took off work even though she wasn't with me in my meetings, going to the job sites, etc. I had to go meet her during lunch and we had dinner together. She stayed in the same hotel, but it bothered her that she couldn't get a room on the same floor. Out of those 4 days, at least 2 of those days, she slept in my room. She didn't even sleep in her room. That was paid for. It was ridiculous, guys. I can admit that. We were engaged for 1 year and then we got married. I was for sure this was going to stop everything. We even went to counseling. She was good. Not even 7 months after our wedding, my ex-wife is telling me that she feels as if she didn't have as much fun as I did. I was asking her, what are you getting at? As much fun as I did? She said, in college. She was so busy trying to focus on becoming a lawyer. And she only dated me. And we technically didn't really date the way she wanted to date. Her words. She didn't have time to party and everything, and she knew that I was partying a lot. After college, she didn't get to meet men and date like the average woman or man. I said, so you want a divorce? She says, of course not. I figured maybe we could try open marriage, but the rules are you cannot be with an ex. She gave me this look as if she just knew I would run right back to my ex-girlfriend's arms. That's just all she ever cared about. This one ex-girlfriend who was just living her life doing big things. And when I say big things, guys, she does her thing with law. And I'm not going to say who she is. And she's not some A-list celebrity or anything. But she's been on TV several times. But that doesn't make me want to run back to her just because she's popular. I'm not like that. Maybe there are men like that, but that's not me. I have a great career and I love what I do. I chose the woman that I married, my ex-wife, and she could not accept that. I dated someone who was in her eyes big time now. I told her for the 100th time, I told you, I want nothing to do with my ex-girlfriend. Secondly, I will not participate in some stupid open marriage because you're so insecure and you feel as if you didn't get what you were supposed to get in your college years or when you were single. That is not my darn problem. Yes, you're right. I banged a lot of chicks and I loved it in college. I had an amazing time when I was single. Yes, I dated, and most of the women I dated, I screwed them. Absolutely. I sold my oats. He's going in, man. I did what I was supposed to do. Then I realized I wanted a wife. It's not my fault that you didn't do it. But now, since we're getting a divorce, you are free to bang whoever you want. Bang two men at the same time. I don't care. Hey, grab a woman if you want. I don't care. You can do whatever your heart desires. You're free now. You don't even have to wait until the divorce is finalized. I'm telling you right now, go do what the heck you want to do because I'm done with you. My ex-wife started crying. I'm sorry. I think I need to see a therapist. Something is wrong with me. I keep flipping out and my mind is just everywhere. I'm in my head all day. I feel like I'm less than. You pay for everything and take care of everything. And here I am, making a measly $22 an hour, which is just pennies to what you make. I feel like I don't do my fair share. I said, well, you can be by yourself and enjoy your $22 an hour and banging guys that you missed out on in college. My wife is seriously sitting here crying to me, begging me, snotty nose and everything. It was pretty disturbing. I told her to get out. She told me no, the house belonged to her as well, and she'll die trying to save our marriage. I told her I'll gladly pay for her funeral, and I headed upstairs and locked the bedroom door. Oh my gosh. He didn't had enough. I didn't had it. I've had enough. She eventually went silent, and before I fell asleep that night, she was talking outside my door, telling me that she'll give me the time to think about everything, and maybe we can try counseling. I told her I'll go seek counseling Monday. She cried, saying, okay. Little did she know, I was talking about legal counseling and finding a divorce lawyer. True story. I did just that. I went and found me a lawyer. He told me everything I needed to do, and I told him I don't want to pay alimony. She works. He was asking me to describe our home and the type of home and the costs and if I paid everything. And after telling him everything, he told me there's a possibility that I may have to pay alimony temporarily. And he's sure, but he can't promise it. We may just have to sell the home and split everything, even though I pay the mortgage. I was the one to put the 20% down on the home. I did all that. All of it was me. None of it was her. She didn't buy a single piece of furniture. Hopefully you're learning from this. Don't be like me at all. Wife gets served and we're both still living in the house. And I have to tell you guys, I was kicked out of my own house. So at our first hearing, the judge ordered me to move out and find a different place to stay. I told her I paid the mortgage on that home. I did everything. Why can't she go live with family? This woman told me that I can afford it. Either go and get an apartment or find a sibling or something to take me in, just until the divorce is finalized. I was ticked off. I'm being kicked out of my house, but guys, I brought this on myself. I can't get entirely mad at the judge. I can't get mad at my ex-wife. So I didn't sit around and cry about it. I didn't sit around and pout and complain. I'm finally writing my story and I made it out. And I'm doing great, even better than I was before. But I moved in with my little brother, stayed in his basement. The divorce took almost 8 months. I thought it was going to be quick. She was fighting everything, every single dime that she saved up from her little $22 an hour went towards doing what she could to get that house. She even paid for investigations with a PI. That's when I got the idea to hire a PI. I found out that a private investigator was investigating me, trying to figure out if I was cheating the entire time or if I was sleeping with my ex-girlfriend. My ex-girlfriend is the one that gave me the information and told me I was being spied on. That private investigator contacted her and basically gave himself away, idiot. I don't know where she found her PI, but my private investigator, I got contact from my younger brother. He actually went through a divorce and he used this person to help him find out that his wife was cheating. While our divorce was going on, I discovered that my ex-wife was cheating on me before we were engaged and while we were married for a little bit. Everything, not only dating apps, but her boss at work as well. Ooh. I gave all the information to my lawyer. We fought hard, man. And at the end of the day, this is what happened, guys. She did not get the house. I had to pay her half of the equity, which wasn't too bad. I made up for it. Like I said, guys, I'm doing very, very well now. I started a company and everything, and I still work full time with my career. I'm doing very good. But anyway, I paid her half the equity. I blocked her on everything. I don't know if she tried to contact me, but I wasn't done with her butt. Having information on her and her boss and knowing that they were using company credit cards to get hotel rooms and things like that, when I thought she was away with family, I got them fired. She lost her job and her boss did. She shouldn't be too mad. She hated that $22 an hour job anyway. It was a good thing, right? My lawyer told me to wait until the divorce was finalized, and that's what I did. I got them both canned, and I am proud of what I did. She never came crawling back. Maybe she did, I don't know. But she didn't have the opportunity to because, like I said, I blocked her. I married someone that I knew I shouldn't have married, and I did it anyway. And look how things turned out, guys. I didn't dwell on it, though. I didn't cry about it. I didn't beat myself up about it. I hit the gym. I started a company, and I worked really hard at work, and I stayed busy. I didn't date anyone. I wasn't even having bedroom action, to be honest with you. That may be TMI. I'm sorry, true story. But it's the truth. I just didn't care. I cared more about improving myself. The past is the past. There's nothing I can do about that. I made the mistakes. I was stupid. But I'm good now. I made it out alive, so I made the best of it. True story. Hopefully someone can hear this story and take some good away from it. Thank you, True Story Nation. Wow, man. Look, yeah. You owned up to your mistakes, man. I like that. I like that, man. She was a nutcase from the very beginning. So you knew her from years ago. But when you guys met up again, she's asking you about your ex. She finds out, oh, your ex is hot and she's a lawyer. That's what I've always wanted to be. Oh, you want her more than me. Like, you guys aren't together. You're not even sleeping together. And she's tripping like this. It's still bad if you guys were together, but you weren't even together. She showed you who she was. But I gotta call it out. You definitely did say, yeah, I should not have gotten with her. I agree with you. You should not have. And look what happened. It just got worse and worse. And you just kept trying to, well, all right, let me prove to her that I'm true to her. Let me prove that I'm not a bad guy. And every time you proved it, she still didn't believe you. Yeah, she told you exactly who she was, man. You know? It's unfortunate, man. I'm sad you had to go through that. I feel like we just had a story that was kind of like that in a way. The girl was projecting the entire time. You guys remember that? She just kept projecting. And eventually, like, she put her hands on him. And guys, let me know what you think about this in the comments. If you want to send in the story, send it to truestorynation@gmail.com. Here, I'll put it on the screen. That's truestorynation@gmail.com. We'll catch you guys at the next one.